everyone, welcome to today's video. If you're new here, hi, I'm to my fellow subscriber. Thank you so much for coming back. Welcome or welcome back. So in today's video, today's Ramadan day 26 and it's around 1. So I prayed Zuhur, and then today's menu I think is just gonna be peppered palm oil fries, maybe some potato side dish, I don't know which one, but you see in the video. Then millet porridge, I think. Then MoiMoi, I'm sure of that. So yeah, we're going to come along and see what's going to happen. Let me show you my clip earlier that I prayed Zuhur. So yeah, I'll just pick up the camera when I start prepping for the things. So let's go. So I started out by making my paste for the millets. The brown thing that you see is tamarind water or juice, and then the millet, and this is a mixture of dried ginger and cloves. So I crushed them in a pestle or mortar and I blend it into this. This is the paste. Then I also moved to making I kept this aside. Then I moved to making my akara. I transfer that paste into another container so that I can use this bowl. This is washed beans. You are just going to use any beans, but you are going to peel the skin. You can also use butter beans, but you don't need to peel that skin. Also because it's not tough, so it's washed beans. I added it to the blender, and I added my scotch bonnet and bell peppers. And this is crayfish, which is optional. There are people who don't eat crayfish. Then you are going to blend everything to a smooth paste, add water and blend it into a smooth paste. I heard that some people also use food processor to blend this. They don't necessarily need to add water, but yeah, we use blender. We don't have food processor. You're going to blend this to a smooth paste and then pour everything in a bowl. Then you're going to add oil of your choice, but I use palm oil, that's red oil. And then some people also add boiled eggs. Some people add cooked meat. Some people add cooked liver or kidney or anything. You can use anything in MoiMoi, like boiled eggs, boiled potatoes, greens, that's veggies, anything. But today I only use palm oil. That's the crayfish that I used earlier. You can also use canned tuna and avoid everything. You can also use boiled eggs and avoid everything. Or you can use only meat inside. That's it. Then add in your seasoning to the paste. Mix well. Add oil of your choice. If you are using like 2 cups of beans, you are going to add 2 ladles of oil or 1.5 ladles of oil. Then add water to thin the consistency. You can use a thick consistency or a very, very thick consistency. I added water, I just said mine, and then package everything in a nylon bag. You can also use any container. You can use that creme brulee container that they use to steam this. Anything that you can use to steam this, you can use it. I made by fire, added water. This is boiling water, as you can see. And I'm going to poke holes inside this ladder so that it will not burst. As you can see, I'm poking 2 holes so that it will allow this to cook. As you can see, I'm going to allow this to cook for like 25 minutes and then it's done. I also forgot to tell you that you saw me add onions. Yeah, you can add onions. You can add any veggies or any meat, protein. as you can see, is cooking. Then I left it there. I went to pray my asr, and then I read the Quran because, yeah, why not? Because it was around that time. I think it was around 4:09 at that time. So yes, I went to pray. After I finished reading the Quran, I came outside to pluck my fresh herbs. That's fresh thyme, fresh lemon, thyme, rosemary, and some. I didn't plug anything apart from that, so I washed them, add them into the pestle of mortar, and I'm going to add. I added garlic. I crushed everything. Then I'm going to use this to boil my meat. I add everything to the meat. I also add in dry spices and some seasonings and salt, then water because I need the stock for the rice. Then I'm going to cook this for like 20 minutes also. I wanted to use the pressure cooker, but for some reason I forgot to use it. As you can see, I added salt and everything. Then the water to the consistency that you want the stock to be. Then cover it and allow it to cook for 20 minutes until the meat is cooked. Yes, I use the mixture of beef intestine, cow intestine, and some chicken. And at this time, my MoiMoi is done. Then I parboil my rice with the remaining water. I know this is not hygienic for some people, but I don't want to waste the water. So yeah, the meat is almost cooked here. So I parboiled and washed my rice, and this is the leaf that I'm going to use as my sauce. The sauce is a very simple sauce. This looks like pumpkin leaves, but it's not pumpkin leaves. We call it Ghanaian ugu. I think that's what my mom called it. That's what people are calling it, Ghanaian ugu. It's not pumpkin leaves. I will show you the tree. If I'll snap the tree and then put it on my community tab so that you'll see and guess the name. I fried my meat. I grated my bell peppers and scotch bonnet. I added a lot of scotch bonnet because it's pepper rice. And yes, the pepper was not overwhelming though, so it was not spicy at all. But yeah, I crushed everything in that grater. I finished frying my meat, as you can see. So I started on making my rice. You can use any vegetable oil of your choice, but I use palm oil to make it more healthier. So I added my palm oil to the pan and then allow it to sit down well. So I added this iru, is low-cost beans. You can choose not to add this, but I also choose to add it because to make it more healthier, to make the meal to be prebiotic and probiotic and gut healthy. So I added the palm oil. Also help in reducing inflammation from the body. So I added my crushed peppers inside. I fried them for like 2 minutes. Then I added water, hot boiling water inside to reduce the cooking process. You don't necessarily need to add hot water. You can add cold water. It's just that I added hot water to reduce the cooking time. Then I add in my seasonings inside, as you can see them, but I crush them first to reduce time for me. Then I add in my chicken's meat stock. I forgot to add it earlier, but yeah, the water was not too much, luckily for the rest to be mushy, but thank God for that. I also add in my dry spices, cover this and allow for it to come to a boil like this. Then I will add the rice inside. I know a lot of people know how to cook this rice. People who live in Nigeria, but there are people outside Nigeria who don't know how to make this. So that's why I'm making it. So I'm filming it, sorry. So I added the rice inside. Then I'm going to mix everything well. I'm going to switch the burner. I also later switch the burner again. I add in the meat so that the juices from the rice will just marry inside the meat. I cover it and I'm going to allow this to cook until all the water evaporates, and you'll see it in a little bit. So I boiled my potatoes. This is just chopped potatoes, peeled potatoes, cut it into a desirable shape. Add salt and water. You're going to cook this until the potato is done, not overcooked. Don't overcook it. Then I move ahead to make my millet pap. I pour hot water on the raw mixture of millets that I blended earlier, that you saw earlier in the video. I added it to the hot boiling water so that it should like double boil. Is it double boil? But yeah, steam the mixture so that it will be thick. Then I went ahead while it was steaming itself. I washed the leaf thoroughly. I soaked it first. If you see, it was soaking inside water. Added vinegar. I soak it for like, I think, 20 minutes. Then I wash it very, very well because these things hide a lot of crazy things. So I kept it aside and I went to my rice. My rice was cooked here. I removed the meat first, then I'm going to mix it very well so that all the bottom part taste will come up, and yeah, then I added the meat on top and the rice was done. It was seriously tasty, and as you can see, it's perfectly cooked without being mushy. I was worried earlier because the water was so much, but yeah, it was perfect. The rice was done. Then I went ahead to slice my leaves, the Ghanaian ugu. I went ahead to slice it. You can use kale, you can use spinach, you can use also real pumpkin leaves, the normal pumpkin leaves, or you can use ugu. That's what we call pumpkin leaves also in Nigeria. You can also use the real pumpkin leaves or any leaf that you know that's edible. So yes, after slicing it, I went ahead to make my prepping my sauce. I added oil to the pan, then some scotch bonnet that I crushed into the pestle or mortar, and then I added my onions. I sauteed them for like 2 minutes. Then I add in the leaves, the Ghanaian ugu inside, stir everything, then add in my spring onions. You can use spring onions, scallions, leeks, anything that you choose to add, or chives also. Then mix everything well together, and then I added in my bell peppers that I cut earlier, that I sliced, sorry. As you can see, I added in the bell peppers first before adding the spring onions or scallions, whatever you might call it. Then I add in the spring onions, as you can see. Then I added in my seasonings. Add seasonings to your taste. You can also choose not to add seasonings but salt. Seasoning cubes, but salt. Then you add a little bit of soy sauce, but I did not add that because why will I do it? Because it was just perfect like this. Then add in your seasonings, adjust it to your taste, and the sauce is done. Don't overcook everything because you're going to kill the good bacteria, and just the sauce will not be healthy at all. So this sauce is just perfect, simple. You can eat this with plain rice or anything, or you can just eat it like that. It's healthy. It's just a vegan sauce. So then I went ahead to make my eggs, potatoes inside eggs. That's golden potatoes. I added a little bit of seasonings and some spices, whisk everything. Then I will add in my cooked potatoes inside, coat both sides, and then add it to the oil so that it's so brown on both sides. If it's brown on one side, you're going to flip it to the other side. I am not seriously perfect. Some people just flip the pan I am not that professional. I'm not a professional chef, so I cannot flip pan. It's not that I cannot do it, I'm just scared to do it. So my mentality will not allow me to do it. Then I went to the other side to combine my paste. I added raw mixture to the one that I put hot water on because it taste good, mix everything well. Then I pour everything in the container, the cups that the people that are fasting, so that they would break their fast together with the MoiMoi that I cooked earlier. Then I went back to my potatoes. One side was brown, then I flip it to the other side. After while it was doing that, I went ahead and cleaned all the things that I used. After washing everything and cleaning everything, here's the clean kitchen, and this is my dinner, and that's it for today's video. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.